You're live.
All right. And what's going to happen is that there's going to be people that are going to pop up and start to try to talk to you, John.
Okay.
You could just, ignore them. Or if you want to tell me what they're saying,
yeah,
and we can answer any questions, we can do that too.
Okay.
Is anybody showing up yet? Let me just
No.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Is this what I should be seeing?
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Someone showed up.
There we go. Okay.
So, they'll watch it later. Okay. Hi. It's your friend Susan from Facebook. And I want to do a little short video about why I drove all the way to California. Some of you are wondering, why did you drive to California? What's in California other than the sunshine and cool people? I drove specifically to California here to purchase this collection of ephemera. What you see behind us is what I'm bringing back to Colorado with me and then selling to you guys. So this one's for you. This room is loaded, as you can see, with all kinds of paper. I'm sure John's showing you a little bit, and then there's stuff over here. And we thought it would be kind of cool if you understood the background of where this collection originated from, because this was all one person's collection, which is, I think, is phenomenal. So next to me is also a member of the group, Catherine Huntoon. Is that correct pronunciation? Right. So Catherine Huntoon, and Catherine is who made it possible for me to buy this amazing collection here. So let's figure it out. Like who? Richard. Talk about Richard. This was all Richard Bagley's collection.
Yep. Richard Bagley is a gentleman who passed away about 5 years ago. He was 75 at the time, Vietnam vet, and incredible artist. When he was a young man, he was a painter and an artist, and drawings, mainly paintings. But he was very knowledgeable about history and what things looked like, because he always wanted to have resource material so he could be as accurate as he could with these. He liked doing these historic paintings of old Hollywood, mainly, Sunset Boulevard and stuff like that. So I wanted to get the exact car right, the exact lighting, the exact clothes, everything exactly right. And but I think his intentions kind of got away from him and his thirst for education and knowledge. Because what this is here, this is about 85 boxes, and when I met Richard, he had 4 storage spaces that were a little bigger than this room, and they were all stacked floor to ceiling with the boxes. And so I met him because there was a newspaper article about him, and I got real interested in him, and he was hanging around the Costa Mesa Historical Society a lot. And so I contacted them because he was very not communicative, real isolated, hermit type guy. And I went out there and I met him because I'm a curator historically. I ran museums and a university gallery. And I thought, that guy needs a curator. And so we met and we liked each other a whole lot right away. And he's allowed me to start unpacking the boxes and finding things. And I figured out real soon how overwhelming this was going to be. It was because I think he saved everything he ever read. Every magazine, every piece of ephemera, letters, thousands of books. We've had so many book sales. And, but he got ill and he passed away. He got cancer. But the selling of his stuff while he was still alive, I managed to pay for his health care.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, you got a insurance here, health insurance here, man.
It's funny, it's, with vintage paper, we all have that kind of, you don't want to call it a disease, but it is, we have that little addiction, and it's like, when you accumulate 4 storage units worth of ephemera, I'm sure he was like white-knuckled holding on to the edge of the box.
Yeah, he didn't really.
You don't want to let that go because, it's like you accumulated it.
And he was, there's some things he knew exactly what they were and what he had. Excuse me. But sometimes when he was in assisted care towards the end of his life, I would go visit him and bring magazines and yearbooks and albums and stuff and show them to him, and he was like, "Where'd you get this? That was mine. I had that."
That's funny.
He was just a wonderful guy. So it's
That's neat.
a real special thing to me that you're ending up with. This is the very end of the project, and it's all photos, photo albums, lots of ephemera, memorial stuff, scrapbooky stuff, and things people kept from restaurants, and
That's awesome.
travels all around the world. There's movies, there's slides, there's all kinds of film, transparencies, color transparencies, positives, and stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. There's tons of
Awesome.
postcards. I mean, it's
And you said it was 145 photo albums in this load or something?
that's
145. So this is for you people.
yeah.
I have brought this,
This is the gold from straw. Is what's in
seriously.
these boxes
I
here.
am thrilled. I'm thrilled. Seriously, it's one of those things that it doesn't happen very often in your lifetime to be able to get such a phenomenal collection, and I'm so excited to be able to get it home and start digging in and looking at it.
I am too. We have all these little Post-its that
I
we put
know.
on
I
there.
have to put the Post-its in the boxes. Otherwise, when I
Yeah,
get
okay.
back to Colorado,
They'll all be
my
all
van's
over the
going to have
van.
Post-it notes everywhere. And I'm like, where's this thing? I
Yeah.
have to find this thing. Yeah, I have a little bit of OCD. So, yeah, I would spend the next, 3 days trying to find, the one thing from the Post-it note that I
Yeah.
don't know which box it's in.
And the thing is too is even though Richard lived his whole life in Costa Mesa in Southern California, when we would go to flea markets and sell and do sales and stuff like that, people assumed that's all where this stuff is from, and it is not. It's from all over the country.
place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much all American, right? I don't think
Yeah,
there's
it's
some people's European vacations.
a little bit.
Mostly
Yeah,
it's American.
yeah, it's mostly American. There's some European postcards I remember, but not much. It's mostly
Yeah.
a study of the
Awesome.
USA from the 1800s to now.
Phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I have a collector in England who, his name's Ahmed Siddiq, and we met him at a flea market, and he only collects negatives.
Okay.
And he's a dentist, he lives in the UK, and he has just obsessively been printing them and posting them, so you'll see those on Rescued from Recycling
neat.
too. And then he started his own page called Rescued Negatives USA.
Okay.
And that one is all prints that Ahmed made from the negatives from this collection.
That's a great thing about technology nowadays, with the computers that we have. You can make prints from slides, you can, make prints from negative in 2 seconds with your phone. Boop, oh, there it is.
I know, I love having a camera on my hip.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I've done that too, taking either glass negatives or just, other negatives. Use my phone and, I'm always shocked. You hold it up to the light, you think, oh, this image looks really cool. But when you see it as a positive, I'm like,
yeah.
this is so awesome.
There's some glass nags in here. I researched some things. In the beginning, I used to, that's very interesting. I'll take that home and research it.
Gotcha.
There are these glass nags about this big that are of the interior of an apartment in New York, in a brownstone, one of the brownstones. And I found out the address, and I looked it up on Google, and it's still there.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really cool to see that, because they hadn't torn it down or anything, but these pictures were from the turn of the century. Family in their drawing room with the gorgeous clothes and everything.
That's really, I just love it. It's.
Yeah.
I was talking about it today. I was in a Long Beach market and just talking to someone about how what I like about photos or photo albums kind of gives you a peek into someone else's life.
Yeah.
You can sit there and be like, oh, from 1920 to 1940, this is what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You see their family, you see where they went on vacation, the dog, whatever. It's just kind of a really historical, voyeuristic peek into, somebody else's life.
And it equalizes too. You know what I mean? Like you like oh, I had that toy, or oh, I remember that, or my family used to do that too. It's a really good way to stay in touch with your humanity.
Yeah. It's a book without words.
Definitely.
A visual book, which is really cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in here too. I would say that is because we are out west. It's not necessarily just only Southern California or Costa Mesa, like I said, but because we are out west, there's a lot of WPA-ish stuff with guys surveying and building and the camps, that they stayed in while they're out in the middle of nowhere building roads and railroads and stuff like that. Yeah, I wish I knew a little more about technology that way because, you probably have collectors that are going to be super psyched about the machinery and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Earlier you were sharing a little stories about like some of the things that you helped Richard sell during the process. Any standouts that you want to talk about that were like super cool?
Yeah.
Hey, can I interrupt you guys for just a sec before you go down? Somebody said that they thought the volume sounded low. Is there a volume adjustment here?
No, I think you can get closer to us maybe.
Yeah, or we could talk louder.
Yeah, and that's about
You're wearing masks,
Yeah,
so
we're wearing a mask, so it's probably muffled.
Yeah, I don't know about
Stick your ear
but-
next to your computer, right? That's all we can say. Maybe.
But
We can speak really loud.
we have.
Oh, that's
Well,
a
you
little
probably-
echoey.
That's good.
You probably do wear a mask all the time too. I mean, I've been wearing a mask for 4 or 5 years because of going through these
Oh,
boxes.
that's
In fact,
no, I just suffer. I have asthma.
I
so,
do too.
So what I do is I go into a moldy, mildewy place
Yeah.
and then get sick for a week.
Yeah, I had the first time I went with Richard to one of his storage spaces. I brought a mask and I put it on. He's a little scrawny, little tough old dude, real sweet guy. He's walking down in front of me and he turned around and he saw me with the mask on and he goes, "Well, it's not that bad." Well, yeah, it is. But I was telling you the story. I think it's probably the standout of everything. And unfortunately, Richard knew he had it, but I hadn't had a chance to research it until after he passed away. But he had an album of CDVs. There was a little over 200 of them.
Let's step closer just in case I didn't hear this.
And
Moving
as
on
I
you,
was
John.
leaving one of his storage spaces, I noticed this beautiful embossed album with the clasps and everything on top of the boxes. And I said, "Hey, Richard, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's just my old Civil War album." And so let me take it to research it. And I found out of these 200 some CDVs in there, all of them it was a collection someone had put together of abolitionists, suffragettes, and what was the third thing? Spiritualists.
Spiritualist, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It was so
So
cool.
they sold the whole album as one.
I put it in an auction and sold
Whoa.
it as one lot.
Do you remember what it sold for?
It hammered at $24,000.
24,000. Awesome. Yeah, I'm like spiritualist. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
ridiculous.
Yep.
Oh
and
my God.
There's the
Not to mention
spirit
everybody
pictures
else.
too, and
Ugh.
I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, but anyway, there's pictures of him and his, the main guy that Houdini debunked. Anyway, somebody will know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Sweet.
And,
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln and Frederick
Yeah,
Douglass,
Frederick Douglass,
all those.
Sojourner Truth,
Yeah, it was amazing.
presidents,
Holy cow.
Lincoln. There's a couple of those.
And did he ever mention, like, did he buy all those individually and just put them in an album, or did he buy it as one fell
He
swoop?
bought that album. That album somebody put together, because what CDVs were sort of like collecting baseball
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
The photography studios had pictures of celebrities that you could buy,
Yeah.
And whoever, I got a small handle on the woman who had put that together. Her husband was a city clerk, so she had access to a little more history, and maybe a little bit of money to put that together. But no, it was put together at the time.
That's amazing.
In the period, yeah.
That's amazing.
That was a beautiful thing.
And
I mean, seriously, that, like, no wonder it did so well, because, I mean, yeah, it's just unheard of to have all of that treasure in one
book.
album.
Yeah.
He probably found it at a flea market, too. And,
Yeah,
and probably
that's-
didn't pay much for it.
That's what's also cool. It's so cool that you were at the Long Beach Flea Market today, because there's at least 2 pickers that sell there that we have are friends with who sold stuff to Richard.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's like a full circle.
It's full circle, and I'm staying in Costa Mesa. You
Yeah.
said that he's originally from there.
Yeah.
And I just picked that for no random reason, other than the universe thought it'd be kind of funny for me to
Yep.
stay where Richard was.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I just
crazy.
love when stuff like that happens.
It's fun.
So cool. But there's what was I thinking about? It wasn't the album. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to tell you a story about. There was a yearbook from the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and so rather than just dump that on eBay, I researched it, and I found this man who was the professional advisor for the Tuskegee movie. Who was in that? It was
Oh yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
I was
Right.
gonna say, I was gonna blank.
Yeah.
Was it Morgan Freeman?
Must have
had to be,
Morgan
right?
Freeman seemed to be in everything.
Yeah, and this guy, collected stuff from
Oh.
that. It was like 4 years, I think, is all that the Tuskegee Airmen were
That's amazing.
as a class, and so that went to him. So yeah, it was fun to try to place things back where they go, in historical societies and clubs and schools. There's 3 boxes over here of yearbooks. Those are all yearbooks that they're so beautiful. There was a woman that was collecting from us who taught high school yearbook, and so she always wanted to buy the yearbooks so she could show the kids how to design them, and
Gotcha.
a lot of them have just fantastic, beautiful artwork in them. So.
I cannot wait to dig in. And all of you guys were probably like, Susan, can you open a box now? The answer, no. We gotta load before it gets dark.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so dark early here.
Yeah, I know. Daylight savings time. Ugh.
I know, it's weird. 4:30. I'm like, oh, it's night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm excited.
people
Holy
are gonna
mother.
be. You have a warehouse, I guess, or storage.
Oh no, this is going in my bedroom.
yeah.
No, I do. I have a 2-car garage, but honestly, I do have There's gonna be I have a 4-bedroom house, and it's just me.
Mm.
So I have room that I'm gonna bring this stuff inside.
Good. That's good.
You
That
know,
was
it's
something
gonna-
Richard didn't do with all of his stuff.
Yeah,
That was
It's gonna come inside.
part of the sorting was getting all the things that the rats and the molding. And,
Yeah, well, that's good.
just
Thank you
getting
for doing that part.
Yeah, man.
I don't need to have any.
That brought the volume way down.
I bet. Yeah. That's the thing. When you accumulate such a massive pile of something, I found that whether if it's hoarding of good stuff or hoarding of stupid things, it's even though they have such a love for the items, they don't treat them well.
Isn't that interesting?
That
Really,
I don't
that
even know.
did bug him. He had built shelves a lot like these in the backyard and blue tarp over on top, and
Why would you put paper outside?
I don't know. It was,
It's just a
Because he ran out of
Ran out of
room
room.
inside.
yeah, room, and you don't want to pay for a 5th storage unit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and when we got it down to 2 storage spaces after he passed away, I had moved him to Santa Ana to 2 storage spaces, and they had fire in one. I had fire. I lost a whole storage room full of stuff I never got to unpack. I have no idea
Oh
what
my
was in
God.
it. I know, it's really killer.
That's horrifying.
And what scared me when I was getting this stuff down, I moved it out of the other storage space and brought it here instead, and then finished going through those boxes in this room. And I knew earlier I had come across a bunch of Richard's artwork, a stack of spiral notebooks like that. Every page he had drawn, this cartoon that he was making up in his head. It was just thousands of pages. Style a lot like George Harriman, Crazy Cat.
Oh, neat.
Beautiful drawings. And as I was going through the stuff in this room, I was like, oh no, where are those? I hope they weren't in the space that burned up. And I found them when I was more than halfway through the stuff in this room. That was providential too, that his artwork didn't.
It survived. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So.
Awesome.
Well, good luck
All right.
with everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Really, I could not be more thrilled.
I'm so glad you
This is
jumped
like-
in.
Kid in the candy store, like, you know, big-eyed, don't even know. Woo! This is how I feel inside. Ready? I feel like I'm spinning in a good way.
Yeah.
So, whoa, I shouldn't have done that. Boom! Then Susan hit the floor in the middle of live. Did you see that live where Susan hit the floor? Anyway, so yeah, thank you all for watching. Catherine, thank you. John, the cameraman, thank you.
You bet.
We have our work cut out for us. We're going to fit this all in the big white van.
Yep. We're gonna load up the band.
We have Martha outside, so if we need to use her passenger seat, someone's going to have to come pick her up. Got to have priorities.
That's right.
All right. So
Okay.
thank you again.
You bet.
For all of
Thank
you
you.
out there, you know where we're going to tune in. Eventually, we'll start selling.
Yep.
Maybe. No. But yeah. So, all right. Thanks for watching. We'll
Okay.
catch you later.
Hit the finish button, right?
Hit the finish.
Adios, everybody.
Done.
I think I did it.
That was cool.
That's this, right?
Oh, we're still live.